This is a student here. Teach problem number 4. Taking a look here. You see 2 overlapping triangles. What the most important thing is always first to pull those apart before you even do gift. So we have a triangle here, EDG. I'm just going to pull this apart. EDG. And then we have a triangle, GFE. All right, so let's do given implied freebies and what we're trying to prove. We're trying to prove that angle EDG, so EDG, shoulder, elbow, wrist. We're trying to prove that this angle is the same or congruent to as GFE, GFE, shoulder, elbow, wrist. So we're trying to connect these somehow. Let's look at our given information. We are told that angles 2 and 3 are congruent. So in the original, 2 and 3 are like the toes. I'm going to put A for angles. We are also told that angle DEG and angle FGE are congruent. So DEG and FGE. So it's like the toes and the heels are congruent. And we have another pair of angles. So you see, we're really close to getting the triangles equal. And ask your classmates about, remember, if we could get the whole triangles equal, we could get the parts equal. If somehow we can get the triangles equal, that's our thinking here. If we can get the triangles equal, then we can get those parts equal. That's where we're going with this. So our goal is to somehow get the triangles equal. And look at what we already have. We already have a pair of angles and we have another pair of angles. So given, implied, freebies, talk it through. We've done our given. We're going to look for implied and freebies. If you look very carefully, there is a side that is shared by both these overlapping triangles. I want you to find it first. And when you show this to your classmates, don't immediately trace this form. See if they can't find it themselves. It's a side that's reflexive. It's shared. Find it. Okay, both these triangles sit on EG. It's actually really easy to spot because you see E and G. You see E and G? Well, lo and behold, it's the exact same segment. So we know EG is congruent to EG because of reflexive. So I'm going to put an S there. We have a pair of sides. So now we talk it through and get your classmates to talk it through. What are the 3 things we know that makes these triangles congruent? And that would be angle, side, angle. And have them understand, if we know the triangles are equal, then we can say the parts are equal. So now we need to do our cleanup, and we're going to follow angle, side, angle. Please get your classmates to answer questions. Do not fill this in form. Ask them. For example, I'm asking you, we are given angles 2 is congruent to 3. How do we know that? It's in the given, and that gets us a pair of angles. We know angle DEG is congruent to FGE. How do we know that? Ask your classmates. Get them to answer. It is given. That gives us another pair of angles. We ask ourselves, where did we get that side from? That side is reflexive, and so we write EG is congruent to EG. That's not given. It is, however, reflexive. That's a pair of sides. Get your classmates to circle this, highlight it, get them to say it out loud. We know the triangles are congruent by angle, side, angle. So we can say these triangles are congruent by angle, side, angle. And exactly which triangles are those? That's going to be triangle CDG and triangle GFE. And the reason why they're congruent, we already figured that out, angle, side, angle. Now, remember this concept. If the whole triangle is equal, the parts are equal. That's the whole point of this. If the whole triangles are equal, then we can say that these parts by themselves are equal. So angle, the angle EDG is congruent to the angle GFE, and the reason is corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. Corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. Or you could just write whole triangle congruent, parts congruent.